Good afternoon, everyone. We are live from Sakra World Hospital, and today we have Dr. Balaji with us, who is an associate consultant neurology and epileptology in the Department of Neurosciences. And today he will share his insights on fighting stroke.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Balaji. I am an associate consultant in the Department of Neurosciences, Sakra World Hospital.
Okay, doctor. The first question is, what causes stroke?
Yeah, basically the stroke is an acute neurological dysfunction resulting from the focal vascular deficit. That is basically the population which are at risk, that is can be divided into modifiable and non-modifiable risk factors. So modifiable risk factors, there is those patients having a history of hypertension, those patients having the diabetes mellitus, those patients having the carotid vascular disease, those patients having the heart disease, and these are the patients which are susceptible for the stroke. These can be modified. So what are the non-modifiable risk factors? That is one is the age. So age, like more than 55 years of age, those people, they will be susceptible to stroke. After 55 years of age, there is a doubling of the risk beyond 50 for every 10 years. So age is the most important factor for producing the stroke. Second is race of the people. That means like Indians in Southeast Asia people, they are prone for stroke compared to the Western countries like USA, and especially in Chinese, they are more susceptible, and Japan. Third factor, non-modifiable factor is the genetic factors. The genetic factors, like especially those patients, there are no any produce, especially the known genetic factors which will cause the ApoE2 allele, the presence of ApoE2 allele that is predisposed to stroke patients, and certain genetic problems having the dyslipidemia, those people, they have a risk factor for stroke, and those having the vascular diseases like fibromuscular dysplasia, they are also responsible for the stroke responsible.
Yeah. Okay. The next question is, what are the symptoms of a stroke?
Yeah, the symptoms of stroke is very easy to identify. It can be like easy to remember, like on mnemonic, B fast. That means B is for balance. There is any problem in balance, that is imbalance, where patients will have a dizziness, inability to walk, and they have the vertigo symptoms. And E for eye symptoms. There is a sudden onset of monoocular visual loss. Means one eye will be there is a loss of vision. That is B. F stands for face. There is a change in the facial expression, like especially there is a deviation of the mouth to one side, and there is a depression of the mouth towards the one side, and is not able to which produce the slurring of the speech. And A stands for arm weakness, where the patients will not be able to lift the arms, or it may be considered the legs also. It may not be able to lift the legs. And yes for speech. There are so many speech problems. There may be slurring of speech, there may be dysarthria, or there may be a aphasia. Aphasia means patient is not able to understand what the attenders or the relatives are speaking, or patient is muttering in its own way. That is not responding to the relatives clearly. So last is T. T stands for time. So time is most important, crucial is in the time, because the more as early as possible the relatives has to identify that and immediately respond to that.
Okay. The next question is, what should a bystander or relative to do if a person is having a stroke?
Yeah. The most important thing is to identify a stroke. That is, like as I told, the B fast. You have to identify the symptoms of this stroke, and you have to immediately take the patient to the hospital, that too with the comprehensive stroke centers, because and here the time management is most important because as soon as the symptoms occur, there is a window period, that is 4.5 hours window period. This is the most critical time. So each minute is each neuron, they say, because it will be lost once the stroke subsides. So the treatment will begin as soon as possible, and the recovery also will be faster and will be complete if the patient is treated within this 4.5 period. What the 4.5 period is, why this stroke comprehensive centers is selected, because they have well equipped team, multidisciplinary team. There is maybe a neurologist, neurosurgeon, radiologist, and the various ICU staff responsible for the primary caretaker of the patient. They are well expertise in management in the stroke. Where is the beauty of this here is 4.5 hours the window time. If you assess the patient by CT scan or MRI, those who are eligible for that is called therapy called thrombolysis. That means once the patient is identified as eligible for the thrombolysis, we will give an injection, so that will reduce the blood clot occurring in the brain that is responsible for the stroke symptoms.
Are strokes hereditary?
Yeah, so most of the strokes are not hereditary, but those the hereditary causes are there. But the commonest cause for the stroke is atherosclerosis. So now there is a atherosclerotic and non-atherosclerotic causes. There are that is non-atherosclerotics are primarily they are hereditary. Like example, there is a dyslipidemia patients where in generations there is a disorder like the hypercholesterolemia that will run in generations. Those patients, they have responsible for stroke. And also there is the same disorder involving the vessels, that is blood vessels, that is fibromuscular dysplasia or Marfan syndrome, or it is a Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Those people, they have run in families. And also in case of the disorder involving the blood itself, that is sickle cell anemia. Most of the people, they heard of sickle cell anemia. These are the autosomal disorder. That means in a family, it runs in families. Around if 4 members are affected in the family, if 4 members are there, 50% of the people will be affected with sickle cell anemia. These people, they will have a strokes. So all strokes are not hereditary, but hereditary causes are there.
Okay. Can stress cause a stroke?
Yeah, it's a good question. Stress do precipitate the stroke. So it is being studied in detail in so many trials. They have found that there is a blood vessel reactivity, and there is an increased blood pressure, and also there is a alteration in the flow of the blood, and that will cause the stress. Definitely do the emotional stress definitely will cause for stroke.
Okay. The next question: can a stroke cause paralysis? If yes, then can the person recover fully from paralysis?
Yes, definitely. Stroke can cause paralysis. It is one of the predominant, most common symptom of a stroke. The paralysis may involve one side of the body, that means one upper limb and one leg. So, or it may involve only one arm. So it can definitely will cause paralysis. So if the person recovery fully means it depends upon the onset of the stroke and the treatment. So if the patient can be treated within 3 to 4.5 hours, the disability and he will recover with minimal disability. And whereas the patient comes beyond that 4.5 hours, the disability will be there. So around 20% patient will be having a minor deficit, around 40% will be having the severe deficits.
Okay. How can stroke patients reduce spasticity?
Yeah, spasticity do happen in the stroke patients. That may occur in around 10 to 15% of the patients. So these patients, they develop because they are bedridden, and the group of muscles which are affected here, there are some protective spasticity in if it is mild. So we definitely spasticity will help. Whenever there is a severe spasticity, we have to treat by various measures. So that involves the rehabilitations. The spasticity, if it is severely involved in impairment in his daily activities, there are so many injections, like the example botulinum injections, which can reduce the spasticity. That should be given in a reputed neurologist, because excessive injection will cause itself a paralysis.
Okay. So, can rehab help with the treating a stroke?
Yeah, rehabilitation definitely can help in recovery of the stroke. Rehabilitation is a team comprises so many persons. Example, neurologist, neurosurgeons, and the speech therapist, occupational therapist, and physiotherapist. So various people, they have a different roles, and our Sakra hospital has a rehabilitation center where the rehabilitation definitely will help. If you see that at the 6 months follow-up of the patient, around say 50 to 60% they will recover within 6 weeks. Whereas if the people is asked is non-walker from the onset, they will recover at 6 weeks. If the patient is able to walk at the onset of treatment, they will able to around 50%. They will walk by 3 weeks, whereas 95% reach their best motor ability or walking ability around 5 weeks.
Okay. That means can stroke patients recover fully?
Patient, yeah, this is a good question. So, according to the NIMS study, where stroke patients, around 10% of the patients, they will be having no deficits. Around 10% of the patients, they have severe neurological deficits where the life, they will be bedridden, where it should be, they will be nursed in a special nursery care. Whereas 20% they will have a mild neurological deficit, and 40% they will have a moderate to severe disability where that will impair its daily activities.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. With this, we have come to the end of today's live session. Thank you all for joining us.